Hi and welcome to today's video, which is a get ready with me, and I'm filming this the same day as it's going up, hopefully, which is Christmas Day. I'm sorry I've been absent for quite a while. That's because I managed to pick up an upper respiratory tract infection that was in my upper chest and my head, and it's only just starting to clear today. So I had a few plans for videos, but I didn't actually do any. I was just obviously not that well. So I shall show you what I've got on my face. I've moisturised, I've got some SPF on, and then I've decanted into this pot because I couldn't get it out of the tube. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder, what is it called? Wonder Glow. So it was 7ml. Plastic's quite hard. I did use quite a bit of it, and then I cut it open and put the rest in here. So this does give an ambery glow to the skin, and it does add a bit of moisture, possibly a bit of tap for makeup. But anyway, so I've obviously got my primer on now. So I'm going to use the CYO, which is in my project pan. It's a discontinued neutral, and it's on the, although it was a Boots Walgreens, it is very much in the tone of the Korean neutrals. So I'm going to get in and do this, and I'm going to actually use another one because you're a bit away. I do have a mirror on a stand, but it's a bit away from me. So obviously I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy Hanukkah, if you're celebrating either of those. I'm doing Christmas here. Luckily I'm feeling better for the day. I hope you're all well on Christmas or over the festive period. And tell me, have you done anything interesting? Are you doing anything interesting? Are you hosting? Are you cooking? Are you on doing your own thing? I'm cooking today, but it's a quiet Christmas for us. Not that we have it particularly busy in recent years, but I've got one part of my family that's away. So basically, we're just like a very small affair today, and I'm doing traditional Christmas food for the UK, which is turkey, a turkey-based dinner. So it's roast turkey, quite slow roast turkey, so it's tender, with stuffing. Now normally I would make my own stuffing, Irish stuffing, which is a recipe that has been passed down generations. Now it is vegetarian in that there isn't pork in. In the UK we tend to put pork in Ireland less so. Some do, but it's generally a vegetarian stuffing. But I haven't done it this year because it takes quite a lot of prep over several days and I've just not been well. So yeah, we're going to go with a manufactured stuffing, and that's going to have to do. So this is the base. So it covers up quite a bit of red, not a lot. I do have a product that's anti-red, and I've not put it on today because my skin obviously is very pale, and it does pale the skin further. That is, have I got it in here though? No, I can't see it. There it is. The one I could have chosen that I got recently is the L'Oreal green, but it does give a very white cast on the skin. And if you didn't have pink skin and it worked as a primer, it would probably be a bit slightly green. So I've done that. I'm going to do my under eyes. Now normally I'd have a colour corrector, but as I have the residual of a cold or a chest infection, what I'm going to do is use up some of this, or I might just put it directly onto my skin. And when I'm feeling 100%, I'm going to break out my new, because I've used a lot of stuff up and they're getting near the end of their life. So I'm going to break out some new base stuff in the new year. And I'm just going to try and get use of some other items that I do use. I don't use this concealer if I'm using a colour corrector on the whole. But it's quite old, it needs using up. So this is, it's getting rid of some of the blue hues. You can still see it's still some blue, because it's not a corrector, it's a concealer. But I'll show you what I've got. It's by Ellis Fast. Very, very, very good company. I know Wayne Goss liked Elliot Fass. Unfortunately, she passed away, and her makeup line, I'm not sure to what degree it's still going. I think she was a Dutch lady. She was I understand, a reporter and a photographer, like a journalistic photographer, and then she went to be a makeup artist, or perhaps she was anyway. But anyway, in the latter part of her life, she was only young. She was well known for makeup, and she had her own line. And I'm sure it's Dutch because it's Faas, and I know like Mass and Fass is Dutch in origin. Now, I'm going to put some setting powder on. Am I going to do setting powder next? I'm trying to work out. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And I've left a product. I've got a new container which I will be showing you. And it holds all my day-to-day makeup. There it is. What have I got in here? Oh, here. So, as you may recall, if you'd seen any previous videos, I got a Milk bronzing stick in a Boots Christmas set. It was an inexpensive set. So I started using this. I think this is the Milk one. It's 3 grams, so it's half size as a mini. And I'm going to be putting this in my project pan to use up, because Milk makeup doesn't use very good preservatives, because they say it's a clean brand, self-styled clean brand, whatever that means, clean, but other than it's like to go off very quick. So what I'm going to do is I use my fingers to warm it up, because this is a very stiff form of bronzer. So it does need to be heated, and when I do a tap motion, a tap down and a slight spread, but not much, but more of a tap than anything else. And I'm going to put this into the hairline, the perimeter of my face. Like I say, I haven't worn makeup in quite a few days now, going on for a week because I've been that ill. And, well, not quite a week, but quite a few days. So I'm glad to be back into the swing of it. And I'm glad I'm able to wear it today. So there. Doesn't show a lot, but there is a bit in there. A bit on the skin. So now I can powder. So I'm going to use here, I'm sorry if my voice is a bit weak. I do have a cup of tea with me though. Good strong cup of tea. And I've actually got the Laura Mercier translucent powder in the jumbo. And this, I've tapped some out into the lid. And then I'm going to use a buffing brush, which one I'm going to use. Now this one was in the Harvey Nichols, I think it was Harvey Nichols Advent Calendar, I think so, either that or Harrods. I think it was Harvey Nichols. And I did pick this up on eBay. So it is by Otis Batterby, and this is a really good size, because if I have a mirror close, I'm not banging into a mirror, but it does allow me to do a little set. Now the CYO is a long wear foundation, not a matte. I would say it's a natural satin, but I like to set things down lightly. So yeah, it's set fairly well, and the eye, so I can go in with my eye makeup. So I've just washed all of my brushes. When I was unwell, obviously I make sure I wash my hands and I don't sneeze on them, but I have had a good clean. So the next thing I'm going to do is, I think I will do my base, the rest of my base. So the first thing I'm going to do is contour first. So I've got an item that I've been wanting to use up, and it's in here now. Just for your interest, I will be showing it when I do my new purchases video. But I've got a bamboo, like a Z palette, or a palette for decanting shadows, etc. into. So this is it. So it's a bamboo wood. Well, bamboo is a grass, but it's like they call it bamboo wood though. And so it has no plastic or metal in. Now this is a sort of a plastic, but it's all of these things that are fully recyclable, and a lot of them, you know, over time would degrade. So this is a lovely, lovely container, and it's from Zhao, which is a French brand influenced by Chinese culture, so hence the bamboo. And I recently picked up 2 from this company, and they seem really, really nice. So what I'm going to do is put the contour on, and it's showing up more of my red. This is Tarte, and it's in my project pan. I don't think I'm going to get it used up, in all honesty, but it doesn't matter. I will carry on using it because I'm not going to break out new products while I've got a cold. So I'm always wary about infections, you know what I mean. In fact, one product I wanted to use, I haven't brought it in with me. I mean, yeah, so it's in another room. Never mind, I'll make do with something else. So I think in a monitor that seems okay. I'm going to, well, in monitor it's in my camera. I've got the camera screen, the lens of my phone. That's a bit better. A bit darker there. There it is. And then the next thing, I'm going to put on some blusher. So I hope I have brought the blusher with me. No, that would be too good to think I've picked up the blusher. Good for a circle. Yes, I found it. So this one is Rocketeer by Benefit. It's discontinued, but I got this in a set, I'd say around 2019, from Boots. And what happened is I never used them. I tend to start and finish because I know things get contaminated, etc., or go off. So I tend to start and finish things. I'm not necessarily going to do that going forward, but this is quite old, so I need to get this one used up. So this is a peachy tone. There's some elements of pink in, I'll show you. There it is. But it is quite warm, which I like, a warm tone, to take away from the... Because if I go for pinks, because I've got a lot of redness in my face, it does make me look a bit like a painted doll. And I don't like the red because I'm used to seeing it every day. So I'd rather have something that was a different tone. So I've got that there. Now I'm going to put on a highlighter. I'm going to use a quad that's in my project pan, an eyeshadow. And there is a oyster colour, I would say. And I've got very little left. And I'm trying to get this done, I think, by the end of the year. So obviously, because it's an eyeshadow, it's going to be stronger than you would expect for a highlighter. I'm just going to put a little bit here, and I'm quite happy with that. So that is now done. And I've got my eyeshadow brushes all in here. So I think what exacerbated my cold, well, may have been the origin, I'm not too sure, is I went to a concert. Oh, before I go further, I'll put the lid on this. And what I wanted to say is, I don't think I've mentioned, I may have done, but, you know, the Laura Mercier, this is Jumbo, and the Laura Mercier, if you notice, is on the side. Now, it has been reformulated and repackaged, and on the lid is LM, and the Laura Mercier name is taken off the side. Also, instead of it being a semi-transparent whitish jar, the jar is dark, I think it's more of a smoky dark brown, and it gradiates up to clear, and the talc has been taken out. So, you know, that's not my preference. I prefer talc in items. I've tried enough that have been talc free that haven't worked for me. They tend to be quite drying on my skin. So I'm a bit sad because when I look at this, I'm going to knock it down to one side quite crudely. I've only opened it earlier on this year, and I'm not sure if you're going to see, but it really is only that much that I've got left. So I have used an awful lot, and that's why I did buy another powder, a loose powder from Fenty, because that has talc in it. It seems to be a similar formula. So yeah, just be careful. If you want the original, you're going to have to hunt out and look at the changes in the packaging. But the Christmas edition, the festive ones that are going to be on sale now, just to let you know, there's a hands up, that also has no talc. They have no talc in, so her full range is talc free. So what I've got by Kiko is a matte shadow in flax. Now what I will say is that it's quite a thick formula, if you know what I mean. It's not the most finest. It's quite a thick, hefty formula. So although I do matte it down, it does lay quite heavily on the skin, as I'm going to say. It's a bit darker than my skin tone, which is fine, because I've ordered it online. Rather than, so I've had it a while. I had it before I went into the stores again. Look, this November. So there. So I've got that on there. And it is a nice powder, but quite thick. So I've got that done. And I'm going to go over to my crease. So I'm going to get a fresh brush. And there's certain brushes I do like. This one, they're inexpensive. This one's look good, feel better. So that came in a beauty box. It's angled, but I use that for all over, setting a base down. And then for doing the crease and blow out from the crease, I have a Delilah brush, and this is quite exquisite, the Delilah brush. So I'm going to be using a shadow that I depotted in recent month or so from Urban Decay, and it's from the Smoky palette, and it is a pale taupe. So I've put that in just to add a bit more dimension to the eye and to optically push back any skin that is a bit low, because I have with age got some hooding, so it gives a bit of a depth perspective to fill the eye. So just place that down there. So I'm going to put something different on the eye. So yeah, do let me know what you're doing for Christmas. Are you cooking? Are you being entertaining? Are you being entertained? Having a chill one on your own? Like I said, I've just laid that as a very broad band there. And I do have, like I said, quite a bit on the lid. Now normally I'd put a dark shade and bang it down on the lid. I'm not going to do that today. What I'm going to do, I'm sorry, I'm sniffling. But I was in a right state yesterday. I couldn't film at all. I was sneezing everywhere, and mucus was flying. Not pleasant, but true. So I'm going to pick up a little brush. So this is actually a Primark book. It's got PS on, and I'm going to now. I haven't done all the powder for the eye, but I'm going to do a highlighter under the brow. I've got a tiny little brush which I'm going to be throwing. It's a head that's come off another brush. I just keep it in the little Zao palette. There, that's just a little bit of highlighter. That's nearly finished. And the next item I'm going to use, close the palette, is one that I got recently in a beauty box. And it is by RMS Beauty. I barely need to touch it. So it is in, I can't think what the shade is, Strobe. So it's a cream. Now, Rosemary, who is the founder of RMS, she was CEO, but I don't think she's doing that anymore. She stepped back and has got business people in. I put a wash of this over the eye. Now, what I do like about RMS is, although a lot of young people do like RMS, is Rosemary, her formulas are also designed to look good on older skin. As a makeup artist, she wants that, even though it's shiny, that it won't emphasise. So it's a light wash of colour there. Very, very, very nice. Now what I'm going to do, so I've done a light wash, and it is like a mushroom colour, I would say. It's taupe with some pink in, a pale taupe. There it is. There's a slight pink element to it. So what I think I'm going to do is get another brush, and I'm going to try and darken the outer part of the eye a little bit. So I'm going to get another brush, because it's looking tonally quite the same, in all honesty. I'm going to darken the crease a little bit. So I'm going to go into, I don't know which one I'm going to use. I think I'm going to use this, which is Naked, from the Naked palette. So I'm going to lay it down as a slightly darker colour. Although it's not dark by any means, it's relative to the other shadows that are down. See, it's darkening a little bit. I'm just going to pack it out on the lower. So what I'm going to do, this is just after midday, I'm going to go for I'll put the turkey in the oven. I've got it pre-made because I've just been so ill. I've just got lots of things just pre-prepared, if you know what I mean. Bought just to pop in the oven. So I'm going to put that into the oven, and I'm going to go for a long walk, which I do every day, but I've not been able to do because I've been sick. Although I did go out on Monday, because what happened was I went out on Friday with Mr. Bear, and he had some errands to do. There was some presents he needed to give out, and so we got so far, and I said, right, drop me off and I will go for a walk around an area that, you know, I typically do enjoy a walk. So he went, I said, you're going to be a while because you're battling traffic. So I then walked 6 kilometres. It was circular. I did several laps round. I'm going to use a brown pencil by Rodile. Now, it's a kohl, so it does move everywhere, and it goes onto my upper mobile lid, which is not good. It's not good because my eyes are hooded. So what I'm going to do, I've got I think it's a 10 times magnified. I got this from QVC years ago. In fact, I got it from QVC's clearance shop, which is in Warrington. Which is not too far from Greater Manchester. You know, it's sticking quite well. Normally it slides. Now what I will say is I'm a bit dehydrated. So what I do to stop it transferring is I'm going to get another brush, another clean brush, a flat brush if I can find it. This is from Real Techniques. It's quite old because the brush has got all tacky at the end. Gummy, they only last so long. And I'm going to use my Hourglass veil powder, which I don't like at all. It's very drying for me. I can't see what it'd be like on oily skin. And what I do, I tap it on top of the eyeliner so that it sets. This gel really doesn't set, and it stops transfer when I'm blinking. So there, that's done. Yeah, so I went walking, and then didn't it rain? I knew the weather was going to be bad, but it rained very heavy for an hour and a half that I was walking. So I don't think that helped with my predicament, because I went to a concert on the 14th in Manchester, and it's to see an 80s band that's like post-punk, called the Chameleons, and they're not particularly well known outside of the UK, or they weren't, but the singer, well, the band has toured America extensively in the last 20 years, I would say, on and off, and the singer now lives in America, in US of A. So yeah, they're getting quite well known. But if you like, I'm not saying comparable, but if you like Echo and the Bunnymen or the Smiths, you might like them. So it was I don't know how the venue sort of sold out. Because they're from Manchester, they sell out. It was Albert Hall's in Manchester, and it was about 3,000 capacity, whatever. It was ram-packed, and inevitably I picked up this little infection, and I do nearly every time I go and see them, and they always play at Christmas. I mean, I do see them in the year as well, but when the Christmas shows, yeah, I get an infection. I'm not going that close to Christmas again. So there you have it. So, and then Friday I got wet through. I wasn't cold because it wasn't a very cold day, and I was quite, warmly dressed up. But, and on here I've got an Essence. This is still available. Essence Super Last 24. It's a bit creamy, a bit too creamy for my liking. And the next item I'm going to put on is my 24-hour brow setter by Benefit, which really doesn't do anything, I'm afraid. It doesn't do anything for me. So like I said, I got very wet, went home, changed my clothes. It was early in the day, changed. The house was warm, I was warm, and I thought, oh, all's good. I mean, I had a little bit of a cold coming. The next day, Saturday, I was really, really ill. Feeling quite sorry for myself. So basically, yeah, don't go out in the rain, don't go to concerts, don't go in heavy rain. There are two things I can take away from all of this. So yeah, I'm glad I am feeling a lot better. So I've got that on. The other liner I've got, if I can find it, is it Essence? I think it is another one, and it's called Inner Eye. Now I don't like this because although it works okay on the inner waterline, if you put it down to the lower lash line, which I tend to do, it clumps up like mad. So it's not something that I like. It stays fairly well in the waterline. So I'm using it up, but it's not one that I would repurchase. And what I do is I have a list and I make I chart what I use, and I do make a note of items that I don't particularly get on with. So yeah, it's been a mad dash. I mean, Mr. Bear's been very good. He went out over the weekend and bought, Christmassy food stuff that we need. We didn't get a lot because we're dieting. So I've been dieting last 6 months, and it's been quite successful. I've lost nearly 4 stone this year in the last 6 months. It's been hard work. So Mr. Bear, he's very, very tall, and he just had a bit of a tummy. But other than that, otherwise you wouldn't think he had any carried weight at all. He just decided to cut down. I'm someone that I can have people eating what they like. It doesn't bother me. And he has quite a sweet tooth, and I don't. So he can have things in and I wouldn't be that interested. So we both lost weight. It's been a win-win. So I didn't want to buy too much for over Christmas. So I got Lash Paradise by L'Oreal. And initially I didn't think it was too good, but as it's got a bit drier, a bit thicker, it works quite well on the lashes and it does coat them white. So I've got the Charlotte Tilbury Exaggerize Mascara, which I'm going to put on. Yeah, so like I say, I'm glad I'm back to normal. And I did put the Christmas decorations out. I don't put them, I'm not the earliest because I do have close family members that have died, and they sandwich the beginning of Christmas. They mark the beginning and the end. So I'll do it just after. It won't be the day of their anniversary, but after that I'll consider them putting the tree up. The tree's been up quite a while. Now this is lovely. Can you see one coat? Let me see if I can get. Absolutely lovely. Now this, what I will say about this mascara is it's been better as it dries out. I don't know if it's gone off, but it's a very wet formula, and it won't stick to itself well when it's wet. It just looks a mess. But it is quite pretty. I think it was 8ml. You get quite a bit in this anyway. Is it 12ml? You get a lot, but as it dries out, I think it's getting near the end. My little dog's going mad because you can see people pass by with dogs. He doesn't like it. He thinks the whole area is his, and no dog should be in his sight. It's not too bad when he's out. He's giving it some barks. So that is that done. Now the final thing I'm going to do is my lipstick, and for that I've got various lip liners, and they all need using. And why do they need using? Because I've had them a good while. The company no longer exists, I'm trying to think, what colour shall I use? And this is Lipstick Queen. They're nice. Oh, I think I'll use that one. I think it's going to be that one. Or is it going to be that one? I think I might use this one. So this one is called Rose, which is quite apt. So I line fairly near to it, or just slightly lower on the outer skirt. I have to create slightly to the left because there is a slight difference in the shape on the lower. Just slight, you wouldn't really notice it. They're always a bit shaky. There we go. So that's done. So I didn't always used to line my lips, but anyway, then I've got a lipstick from Lisa Eldridge, and it is their new Rouge Experience, and I've got Medici, which is quite similar to the nails that I've got on, but there it is. And I will put it on. It's a lovely, lovely satin, and you just can't feel it on the lips. So there it is. It is a My Lips but better shade, and it does last very well. It's so comfortable. So that is Medici 185. So I've looked online. Space NK have a sale. It started yesterday evening, Christmas Eve, but they didn't put the Lisa Eldridge and Westman Atelier in it. It's only certain brands have gone in. Whether they add more, I don't know. I don't know whether they'll put more in, but I just tend to look because I do want some more Lisa Eldridge items. If you want a good, I mean, Cult Beauty have got started some of them. I think they'll mainly start tomorrow, but I'll tell you a good place all year round, because they have heavily discount all year round, is Debenhams. The Debenhams, which is an online store now, yeah, their beauty is discounted all the time, and it compared to other places, they tend to knock 20% off all year round, 10 to 20% off. It's gone up to 50% in certain items. So that is everything. So the last item I'm using is, I haven't showed it in any purchase because I keep forgetting because it's in my makeup rotation. It is the L'Oreal Infallible, and this is the Bronze Fresh Wear 24-hour Fresh Wear Bronzer. Now this, I don't think was ever sold in the UK, but I did get this on eBay, but it's really popular. A lot of makeup artists swear by this one, including Nikki LaRose, but I'd already had this before I saw her recommendation. I'm sure she's probably recommended it over the years, but this is absolutely wonderful. I do have some others I need to start, but given that I'm not particularly well, I'm just using items that I've previously used, and I can sanitize that. So, and then the last items I want to use is, I've got a new spray to me by Barry M, and it's a dewy setting spray. So I think I've used it once. Oh, it's a bit vicious, but it does add a bit of hydration there. Yeah, the spray is a bit vicious, I will say, but it is an inexpensive brand. Got that in Boots, I think. And then the last item is, I got this in Avocado. I've had at least 100 of these. I wouldn't buy them because I just think the containers and everything are just so naff, so rubbish. So this flies off, doesn't stay on. I've had one previously, the same fault. The packaging, for the money they charge, the packaging is rubbish. Iconic London. and so this one has got golden. Now what I will say, it is like an alkali type one, so it is. And I don't think it's that refreshing. It has sparkling, but I think it's quite drying. But I've got another spray on, so there it is. So that is everything. So I'm going to next be doing is getting, like I say, the turkey in the oven, because we do have a traditional turkey and stuffing. We have roast potatoes, mashed potatoes, carrots. I've got carrot batons this year, sprouts, I love sprouts, turkey gravy, Yorkshire pudding. Now, outside of the UK and Ireland, you may be thinking, what's Yorkshire pudding? But it's a batter based like a waffle, what you'd have a waffle or a pancake, American pancake at the breakfast, but it's savoury. We have those, and it's much lighter weight than a pancake because it rises upwards and it's crispy. So we're having that, and we've got a cheesecake, a fruit cheesecake for dessert. I'm not having a starter because I couldn't manage the lot, and I don't generally drink, but I'm going to have a little bit of sparkly wine to go with the dinner, so that'll be nice. I think it's prosecco. So yeah, that there on, and then we will just probably lounge on the TV. The dog will be on the floor, flat out after the walk. But can I say thank you very much for spending some time with me, as I do appreciate that your time is valuable. I hope you have a lovely festive season. I hope to be back, hopefully between today and New Year, with some more videos. But like I say, otherwise, I really do hope that you enjoy yourselves, that you stay safe, and that you take care. And hopefully I shall see you soon. Otherwise, bye for now.